America now, like, why don't they do it?
Yeah,
And
why
then
don't
they come
they?
through and
Yeah,
they're expecting their student loans to be forgiven, and
Right.
they just, I want this and I want
They're
that.
starting to.
so, yeah, I was gonna say,
They're
so
starting
there was a, you know, my generation, maybe some of
I had
that,
an
you're right,
education.
it did, right, so, and you're clearly younger than I am. And so, that being said, they are starting to. I have a 15-year-old daughter and in her middle school, right, and now in high school. And they're good classes, right? And they invite local professionals in. I've gone in and spoken to a class, and so it's happening today. There is a national program.
Questions,
Yeah.
and they're like, I never learned this.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not a standard.
Right. No, it didn't.
I don't feel like our kids, just having a
Oh, yeah.
high school, I don't feel like she got it.
No, there sometimes, so it's not a
Might be based
class.
on the class they're taking, but.
Yeah, it's not a class. They're normally, you know, couple-week programs. That, you know, there's a, and yes, and that's it. Yes. See, I thought it was a national and, you know, federally driven, so I thought pretty much all were.
then you try to teach your children and they don't want to hear it when they're that age.
No, they're not interested,
It's not
right?
even Title VII doesn't bother me.
Unless they're forced to.
And then all of a sudden they're in their thirties and they're like, well, I can teach this.
Yeah.
I actually, Shannon's son, in Kentucky, in their public school, they do the Dave Ramsey program.
Yeah, a lot of says yes.
Which I wish they would do here, because that's an amazing program.
Yeah.
And to me, that should be national.
Yes, so debt management is a piece of it, whether it's Dave Ramsey or
Learning your
whoever it is.
budget, yeah.
Budgeting and then investing, right, is the last piece of it. And so, like I said, I know there's a criteria, because I've spoken with some of the teachers. I thought every state was delivering. And,
Rodeo failed us.
well, hopefully it's here soon, yeah.
This isn't investing, but like I've heard of several young people, they don't, I'm old school, they don't balance their checkbook, they just make sure there's enough in there
Yeah.
to pay their.
They don't
bills. I
have a
could-
checkbook.
Well, I know, but
That's
online,
actually terrifying.
it does.
Right.
I could not live like that. I mean, whether you do a checkbook online or manual or whatever,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that, because I go over that, and just like with credit card statements, I go over the puppies with a fine tooth.
Because they make many mistakes.
They do.
Yes.
And because I couldn't live like that. I don't know why these young people don't do
How many fees must they pay?
Oh.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
Hello.
Some of our kids.
Bounce checks.
Well,
Yeah.
our kids, our son doesn't have checkbook.
No.
He's 24. He's not on a checkbook.
all on.
They don't know how to write a check.
Yeah, they don't even,
Like, you
yeah.
gotta be kidding me. Never wrote a check.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
and they took cursive writing out of schools
Yeah.
years ago, so they don't even know what a signature is.
That can kind of come in at our advantage. We can write code.
That's right. That's
Write
right.
in cursive.
There are books that, like my daughter is using with her girls regarding cursive writing.
Yeah.
There are books that don't cost
How to learn ancient writing.
to go with their grandparents.
Yeah, well, I know one thing I tell, especially young people that have struggles with budgeting, is go through Financial Peace University. And I've led through at my church many times, I think 18 times, and I really like it. Because it's simple, it's 7 baby steps, you know, having, what he says, $1,000 of emergency, and I know that's not enough emergency, but that's just a step that you can accomplish. Most people can accomplish very quickly, and they already have. And then the debt snowball, is everything paid off except for the house. And then a long-term emergency fund, 3 to 6 months. And then you start investing toward retirement, 15%. You know, and if you're young, Roth is great because you get tax-free growth. Power compounding's on your side at that point. But so, and then he goes on to other goals there at the end. But if people just learn how to budget, you know, tell your basically budget is just telling your money where to go before you spend it. And then kids don't do that; they just spend it and go, "Hope I have enough."
Yeah.
They don't really plan it, and I mean, you don't like go to a trip to Florida and just get in the car and drive. You got to plan that. Say, where am I staying? How much it's going to cost? What am I going to do? But they don't do that with money a lot of times because they're not taught. So I like it. And 2 of my kids, well, one of my daughter that's married now went through financial peace class, and she did great. And I made her fiance, who's now her husband, go through it too. So you guys are gonna go through this class, and my son's gonna go through it, and my youngest daughter. I want all of them to go through it just so they have that foundation of how to budget, you know, make sure they don't get in debt. And so far they're doing great, and they're saving. So anyway.
Well, our mom, single mom, 4 kids, we saw her budget to the penny, she hardly had anything. She wrote down every penny she spent. All 4 of us grew up to be, we're very
Yeah.
good with our money. And she taught us, if you don't have the money for it, you don't buy it.
Yeah.
You wait till you've saved up for it, which I thought was excellent advice. But, you know, pardon me?
No.
That's true. That's right. If you want it, you go get it. That's what
Yeah.
these people do.
Interesting, when I was in basic training in the Air Force, they gave us very little money, but they made us write down everything we spent. So we had to go buy a lot of stuff. They give us money and then they say they expect us to buy all these things. And they would look at it. They say, you know, you've got X amount of dollars at the beginning, anything you spent, you had to document and just down to the penny, and they make sure that in your, because you had to have in this like safe thing where your money's left over, and they count to make sure that you documented it right.
That was correct.
Yeah, it was like part of that discipline.
Andrew still remembers the first time we went to Red Lobster, we saved quarters.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
we went.
Yeah.
And he's 44 and he remembers us saving quarters.
Yep,
So
Red
that we
Lobster.
could go, and he remembers how much it was
Wow,
for the,
they didn't get the lobster.
no.
No.
He had
Not
to
enough
get-
quarters.
He had to get the kids' meal
Yeah.
because he was under 12.
Yeah.
But it was all you could eat, and it was $45, $5 time. It was $50 for all of us.
How many would that have been?
That was a lot back then. Yeah.
Seven?
Did I get the lobster, Mom? I don't remember.
No, no.
They didn't have it at the buffet.
But we planned it, and
Mhm.
it was interesting, because we had this bank that had quarters, and
Yeah.
when you got both,
Yeah, I
cylinders
remember
filled,
that. It would tell you how much dollars it was.
It would be $50, so that's what we had.
A neat story.
We save all our change. We don't spend any of our change. We put it in a jar, and then we'll use it maybe once a year, and add it for like our trip. Like we'll say, okay, whatever, we take it to the bank and let them count it. Nowadays you can do that. Hopefully they'll keep that service, but then it'll be deposited directly into our bank account, and we'll say, okay, we have some extra for excursions and things, or dinners, or whatever. So, anybody else have any other questions? All right, well, let's thank Ken for his
That was
time.
wonderful.
You're welcome to stay and chat, or you can go, but we appreciate you guys coming. Thank you very much. Our next coffee club, by the way, will be a little earlier because we got Thanksgiving. So is it
November 10th. November 10th.
So just so you know, we'll make sure we
Sending
send
out
out.
postcards today.
And, yeah, so if you have any questions on that, let us know. But that'll be the last one of the year. December's just too hard to do that. But thank you all for coming. Appreciate y'all. God bless.